Hi, everyone. I am Grandma Joy, or you can call me Miss Joy. And today we're going to read a new book. It is called Thank You, Omu. And let me just make my slide a little bit bigger so you guys can see. I hope you can see that very well. I'm thinking that you can. And this book is written by Oge Mora. I had the pleasure of meeting her about a couple of weeks ago. All right, let's find out what this book is about. As you can see, the beautiful pictures, that this book is not talking about a countryside. It has something to do with the city. Okay? And so we're going to read on the corner of First Street and Long Street, on the very top floor, Omu was cooking a thick red stew in a big fat pot for a nice evening meal. She seasoned and stirred it and took a small taste. What a delicious stew, Omu said. Tonight's dinner will surely be the best I've ever had. And we know this stew is delicious because it looks like she's licking her fingers, doesn't it? Let's see. Yeah, you see that? And you can see the aroma from the stew by the way the picture is representing the aroma with the light color coming from the stew. With that, Omu put down her spoon and went to read a book before supper. As the thick red stew simmered on the stove, its scrumptious scent was waved out the window and out the door, down the hall, toward the street, and around the block until knock. Someone was at the door. When Omu opened it, she saw. Now, I wonder who could be at the door. Let's look at this picture here. Who could be at the door? And we see the aroma or the smell of the stew coming from out of the pot, and it is flowing. Well, a little boy. Little boy, Omar exclaimed, what brings you to my home? I was playing with my race car down the hall when I smelled the most delicious smell. The little boy replied, what is it? Thick red stew. Stew, he sighed. That sure sounds yummy. Do you think he may have wanted some? Well, let's find out. Okay, and we see the aroma going out the window. Omu thought for a moment. She was saving her stew for dinner, but she had made quite a bit. It would not hurt to share. Would you like some? The little boy nodded. Yes. Okay. And so Omu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. Thank you, Omu, the little boy said, and went on his way. And we can see as she is giving him the stew, he is going down the block, and then all of a sudden, with that, Omu closed the door and went back to her book. As she read, her thick red stew scrumptiously scent waved out the window and out the door, down the hall, toward the street, and around the block until knock, knock. Who do you think would be at the door now? Who do you think? Someone was at the door. When Omu opened the door, this time she saw, well, if you said a police officer, you're right. Miss Police Officer, Omu exclaimed, what brings you to my home? I was on duty down the street when I smelled the most delicious smell Miss Police Officer replied. What is it? Thick red stew. Ah, stew, she said, and her mouth watered. That sounds mighty tasty. Well, what do you think may have happened next as she is smelling the stew? And we know that she's smelling the stew because all of a sudden her nose becomes another color, right? Okay. Omu thought for a moment. There was still enough to share. Would you like some? The police officer nodded. Once again, Omu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. Thank you, Omu, the officer said, and went on her way. Okay, and so that smell, the aroma of the stew is following her as she goes. Let's see what happens. Did I click? Okay, here we go. And so for the second time, Omu closed the door and went back to her book. Sure enough, as she read, her thick red stew scrumptious scent waved out the window and out the door, down the hall, toward the street, and around the block until knock, knock, knock. Who do you think is at the door? Again, someone was at Omu's door. This time, when she opened it, she saw, what did she see? A hot dog vendor. Mr. Hot Dog Vendor, Omu exclaimed, what brings you to my home? I was selling my hot dogs down the block when I smelled the most delicious smell. Mr. Hot Dog Vendor replied. What is it? Thick red stew. Ooh, stew. The vendor licked his lips. That sounds quite delectable. And we see him here. What do you think he's going to ask her? Let's find out. So Omu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. Thank you, Omu, the hot dog vendor said, and went on his way. Everybody is just loving this stew. Throughout the day, people from all across the neighborhood knocked on Omu's door. She fed a shop owner, a cab driver, a doctor, an actor, a lawyer, a dancer, a baker, an artist, a singer, an athlete, a bus driver, a construction worker. Even the mayor stopped by. And each time they knocked, Omu shared. Soon, the sky darkened. The street lights brightened, and it was finally time for dinner. But when Omu opened her big fat pot of red thick stew for her nice evening meal, ooh, do you think she had some left? I hope so. Let's find out. It was empty. How do you think that made her feel? Leave me a comment if you know how it made her feel. Almost sniffled. There goes the best dinner I ever had. Sorry and blue, she sat at the table with her empty pot until knock, 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 knock. What? Who could that be? Omu wondered. When she opened her door, she saw the little boy, the police officer, the hot dog vendor, The shop owner, the cab driver, the doctor, the actor, the lawyer, the dancer, the baker. Why, everyone she fed today was at her door. I'm sorry, everyone, Omu sighed. My fig red stew is all gone. I have nothing left to share. The little boy tugged at Omu's sleeve. Don't worry, Omu. We're not here to ask. We are here to give. And you see, everyone she helped by giving them her stew was at her door. The police officer carried in a fresh salad. The mayor entered with a roast chicken. The baker brought a collection of sweet goodies. Even the little boy presented Omu with something special in a shiny red envelope. Well, I wonder what that could be. Hmm. Everyone who had knocked on Omu's door that day squeezed inside her tiny apartment, and together they ate, danced, and celebrated. And one of the things I want to say here is that if she had a tiny apartment, you know she didn't have much. But although she may not have much, she gave all that she had. While Almo's big fat pot of thick red stew was empty, her heart was full of happiness and love. That dinner was the best dinner she had ever had. And in the red envelope was a note, a card, and it said, Thank you, Omu. The end. And here you see, I am with the author of this book, this fabulous book. You can get it at her website on Amazon. Thank you, Omu. And if you like my story, just follow me, like me, give me a comment. I will be going live every week on Monday and Wednesday around this time. So until then, guys, have a good day. Bye.